Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you'd like to see these guys jump out of an airplane butt naked, literally, but what are you doing? What are you doing? Say that.
Not yet.
Not yet. We need to raise $25,000 and these guys will jump out of an airplane butt naked.
It's
25,000 pounds.
Sterling. English sterling.
English sterling, Billy Joe. Okay, English sterling. Make sure you guys click the link below to donate to the Brendan Ingle Foundation and the Prostate Cancer of UK. Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps and I'm joined now by Dom Ingle. How are you? How are you doing?
How are you? Yeah, I'm not bad. Long time no see.
Yes, it's been a while. I think the last time you and I sat down, had some coffee, I see your coffee over there, was in Sheffield when, we are in Sheffield, but when Brook fought.
Yeah, I think you're right. He was in the hotel and we had a good chat and yeah, it was a good conversation.
So how have things been for you? I know it's been a tough time. A lot going on, a lot of changes.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes. Obviously, the passing away of my father affected a lot of things, but you know we've kept everything moving. You know, it's been a bit of a downer for the last couple of months, but everything kept on track, and it's just a case of putting one foot in front of the other and carrying on. Boxing wise, a couple of fights have fell through. We're now training through the summer for big fights in September and October, so everything's moving in the right direction.
You find it important to just keep yourself busy all the time?
Yeah, you've got to keep busy, you know, keep moving forward, don't get distracted, keep focus. I mean, that's the name of the game in this sport, you know, in boxing. There's lots of ups and downs and you've got to keep your head straight and keep moving forward and just keep fighting.
Your dad was a really good man. He helped so many children, whether they be without parents or just on the streets. He did so much for the community here in Sheffield. How important is that for you to make sure that his memory stays alive?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for 1 hour of a day or 2 hours of a day, kids are coming here and they've probably got no stability in their life, and for 1 or 2 hours a day they did. And, you know, Johnny Nelson was one of those guys. He came in from the age of 14. And he came in the other day, he still had tears in his eyes, and you know they had some kind of something to look forward to every day. It gave them motivation to keep on the straight and narrow. And we're still doing that with kids in the community. We still do community stuff, and we still guide kids, you know, and still work towards that. So we keep it all alive. You know what you wanted, and it's always been the ethos of this gym. So yeah, it's always going to be the same.
I saw in a documentary that Brendan made sure that he implemented the kids being polite when they come in here. Say, yeah, I mean, please and thank you and whatnot. Is that something that you make sure that stays exactly the same and that you make sure you carry that on as well?
Well, one of his favourite quotes was that, you know, good manners cost nothing. And, you know, the kids in this gym, especially the younger kids when they come in through, when they talk to you, whether they talk to Cole, the gym manager, everybody else, they've always got good manners. And if they don't have manners, then they don't get a reply or they get told, you know, they need to smarten their act up and be polite. Because it's, you know, it's commonplace these days. You'll go in, you know, we shall talk about McDonald's, seeing as you've had one today. And, you know, you can go into McDonald's, I take my kids in, you see kids rolling up to the counter and they just ask for what they want, and there's hardly any pleases, there's hardly any thank yous, and hardly any manners. And when you do see a kid doing it, it's different, you know what I mean? So it's commonplace now that people forget the manners. They think it's beneath them to be polite, which it's not. You know, good manners cost nothing. So we try and install that into people, yeah.
So I saw on your Instagram page, quite interesting, if you raise $25,000, explain that a little bit to me, because I know that one of the things I read that stood out was that you and the guys are planning to skydive butt naked.
Well, we've set a target. I mean, originally this skydive was set for my 50th birthday, which was last year. And I've just not had the time to do it. I kept putting it off and putting it off. It's not something I want to do. I don't like heights. I certainly don't want to jump out of an aeroplane. So I really kept it on the down low a little bit. And then I made the mistake of telling Kid Galahad. He got to Billy Joe Saunders, Brook. So they all decided they wanted to jump on this skydive. So I said, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do it as a charity thing. You know, we'll do it for building a statue for Brendan. So we'll donate some of that to the memorial statue and some to prostate cancer, because prostate cancer is a male cancer, and obviously at 50 you're supposed to go for a checkup with your doctor and get all these things. So I thought we'll combine it. And then Billy said, well, why don't we do it naked for a bit of fun? And I said, well, that's not...
It would be Billy to suggest that, right?
It would be Billy. I said, but because that's not my idea of fun. I said, but we can do that, but we'll set an unrealistic target of £25,000. Nobody's going to pay, that amount of money. And I think we've raised 2,000 or 3,000 at the minute. We're not going to hit that target in 10 days' time, which I'm glad. But somebody might come along and decide to chuck a bit into the pot. But that's one of the things. If for some reason it gets to that total, then we're gonna do it naked.
An anonymous donor. Watch it be Billy himself.
Well, you never know. Billy might do that just to get himself a bit of exposure. More than one way than another. But it's a good cause. Plenty of people have done it. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a case of we're going to get up in that aeroplane. Everybody's going to have the game face on. Nobody's giving anything away, and it's only when it comes to the crunch of having to jump out the plane door we'll see who's got the minerals, so to speak.
So you guys are still jumping. You're just not jumping naked unless you hit 25,000.
No, if we get near the total of £25,000, we're going to do it naked. But I don't think we're going to get that. Hopefully we don't. So yeah, we're still going to do the jump no matter what. But if we actually raise that amount of money, then we're going to do it naked.
You are a brave man, because I'm terrified of heights, and I know you just said you are too. Jumping out of an airplane is no joke.
Oh, but I'm saying that, we've got boxers, Brook, Billy Joe Saunders, Kid Galahad. They've got a saying, you've got to face the fear and do it anyway. Yeah. And that's the thing, you've got to face your fears, and sometimes the thought of something is far worse than actually, thinking it over. I know for a fact Billy and Kel and Barry are going to be losing sleep the night before. I know for a fact they are. And they're all, edging each other, they're all pushing each other, and they're all winding each other up and giving out the worst case scenarios, to see if they can instill a bit of worry in each other and see if somebody's going to pull out. But if anybody refuses to do the jump, if Billy says he's not going to do it, if I refuse to do it, then we've all got to chuck £5,000 in. Well, I've got to chuck £5,000 in. So if you don't do the jump, you've got to put £5,000 in. So that's the deal. So everybody's got to do it. There's no easy way out. If you don't do the jump, you've got to chuck £5,000 into the pot. So that's the deal.
So this is taking place when exactly?
This is on the 19th of August, which is a week on Sunday. Okay. It's a place called Skydive UK, which is in Leicestershire. It's an airfield down there. And there's going to be me, Billy, Kel Brook, Kid Galahad, Jason Quigley wants to do it. And so there's going to be 5 of us doing it. And hopefully we'll get a bit of media attention and we'll raise some awareness and we'll raise some money.
We definitely want to be there.
Well, you can come, not a problem. You can come up in the plane and you can do the little bit of camera work before we jump out. But the only thing is, being up in that plane with us 5, there's always a case where they might actually take an extra parachute, put you on it and chuck you out as well. So you've got to be careful.
Hell no.
It's high jinks. It's definitely high jinks.
No, because you have to take a lesson, don't you? You got to do all that stuff.
You can sit in on the lesson and take it all in and film it. So you've been briefed, just on the off chance that, if you're up there filming and you do get slung out, you know what you're doing.
You know what we got to do? We got to put GoPros on your guys' foreheads.
Well, I think somebody's going to film it anyway, so they've got a guy who films it. So, I think I'm just going to close my eyes and jump, so you're not going to see much expression from me. That's
the way you have to do it, though, honestly, because I can't imagine standing there knowing what you're about to do. If you think too much about it, you'll end up psyching yourself out and freaking out. But what happens if you pass out? Like, I'd imagine if I did something like that, I'd pass out of fear in the air.
Well, that's the risk you have to take, isn't it? So, it's the trick is not to pass out. Obviously, it's going to have dire consequences. So, yeah, it's going to be scary. It's not. I've never liked heights since being a kid. And when I take my kids swimming, I get onto the top splash to jump off. I have to take a deep breath, and I don't relish the thought of having to jump now.
Yeah. So. Well, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's been so much. When I say change, I know that there's been a lot of fights. 3 now in total that have been postponed, delayed, or cancelled altogether.
Martin Murray fight twice with Billy. Kel was due to fight at the end of July. Mm-hmm. It's always interesting to look at social media when Kel was in the gym probably the week up to that fight. And people saying, what's happened to this injury? Well, he was injured weeks ago and he'd damaged a ligament on his ankle, which stops you from doing any kind of training. Yeah. You can probably do a little bit of weight training, but as far as your sparring and all your fitness work, you can't do it. And in that period of time, obviously, it gets a little bit better. It's interesting what people say, why he's pulled out and all these things. But he's back in the gym training. We did a bike ride yesterday, 70 odd miles. So he's getting back to fitness and hopefully going to be ready for a date back end of September, beginning of October.
Now, I know that Eddie Hearn mentioned the possibility of there being a December fight against Amir Khan. Is there like a chance that he may just not fight at all and then just go on to fight in December?
I think there's always a chance, but where Amir Khan's concerned, you have to ask yourself, which December? Is it going to be this December, next December, the December after? Because, you know, we've had this going on for a long, long time with Amir Khan and Kell Brook. And I watched a video today where, you know, I think Amir Khan's probably had so many headshots because in the video he's saying that Kell used to be his sparring partner. The one and only time that they sparred was actually on probably a GB training squad when they were probably 14 or 15 year old. And you know, it was probably technical sparring, but somehow in Amir Khan's mind he seemed to have twisted it around that Kell was his sparring partner. And he also states he was the same weight as Kell. He wasn't the same weight as Kell as an amateur. You know, Khan was a lightweight, Kell was a light welterweight. There's a weight division between them. So, you know, it keeps going over all this. And I always think to myself, well, you know, if it was that easy back then, and you think you're a better fighter now, why is there a problem making this fight? If it's going to be an easy fight for Amir Khan, why is it a problem, you know, trying to make it? But I will say about Khan, the one thing is, you know, from the amateurs, what he's been very consistent with is that, you know, even in his amateur fights, he got dropped a few times consistently through his career. And as a pro, he's gone the same way. And that's one good thing about Kell, that, you know, obviously apart from the eye injuries in fights, you know, he's never had a problem with his chin. So, you know, message to Amir Khan, all right, you know, don't measure people by what they say, measure people by what they do. And at the minute, Amir Khan's done a lot of talking for reasons why he can't fight, you know, Kell. And Kell's saying, you know, anytime you want it, we'll do it. And Khan's coming up with excuses, left, right and centre, you know, putting it off. It's the biggest money fight he's ever going to get. And he's coming to the end of his career. You know what I mean? Is he going to take, you know, as a risky fight as Kell for less money? Or is he going to take a risky fight with Kell for the best money he's ever going to get? So, you know, I think he'd like to... I don't think he'd ever like, you know, to get a beat down off Kell, which he will get. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that fight never happens. It'd be great if it does. But if you said to me, is that fight going to happen? I think everybody wants it to happen. Eddie Hearn wants it to happen. Kell Brook wants it to happen. The British public wants it to happen. I think Khan's side want it to happen because there'll be plenty of money for them. But I don't think, you know, at the end of the day, Khan's the one going in, getting it on the chin and going down. So, you know, he's got the last say, hasn't he?
I know he did an interview and he said that Kell Brook needs to be patient. What do you have to say to that?
Well, you know, it's Amir Khan. You know, Amir Khan's talking in a way. Why is it Amir Khan laying the rules down? What Amir Khan fails to realise, he's not the fighter that he was. Do you know what I mean? He's not the fighter that he was. He's not the one. It's just a yes or a no from him. You know, the next thing will be that he'll probably want 60 or 70% of the purse. But why? You know, how can he justify that? He's not. You know, he's not an higher level than Kell. He's not necessarily a lower level than Kell. Might be on the same level, you know, popularity-wise. But on a boxing level, he's not on the same level as Kell. So, you know, he's gonna give us all these excuses, isn't he?
The two are in different divisions, as you know now. So Khan's still fighting at 147, and then you got Kell at 154. Does that mean that this fight would have to be at catchweight, or is going down in weight an option for Kell at this point?
I think it's got to be at a catchweight, hasn't it? It's got to be, you know, a weight what they both agreed. Khan's not going to go up to 154, even though he's been up to that weight when he fought Canelo. But he's going to be thinking the advantage is to drain Kell and get him down as low as he can. So that's something to be sorted out between the management and the promoters. I don't think it's going to happen at 11 stone, but Kell can still get down to, you know, somewhere near a lighter weight if he needs to be motivated to do that.
Mm-hmm. We also have Billy Joe Saunders' fight against Demetrius Andrade that's been announced. Two-time world champion at 154 pounds, another southpaw, another great boxer. How do you see that fight going?
You know, he's a good fighter, Andrade. He's had a bit like Billy's had his career stalled a little bit. He's a little bit older than Billy. Yeah, he's a good fighter. I don't think he's spectacular. You know, he's been inactive for quite a while. And, you know, Billy loves fighting southpaw. So that's, and just by the fact that Billy's prepared to go and fight him, you know, on American soil says a lot. But I think, you know, Billy drew a lot of confidence from going to Canada, beating Lemieux. He knows what it's all about now. He knows, if he puts in them kind of performances, they can't, take the decision away from him. And Billy can always fight like that. So we've got plenty of time. I think we've got about 10 weeks left. We've got it all planned out. We've got some great southpaw sparring, tall guys, very similar to Andrade. So, it's going to be, who wants it more on the night when they get in that ring. Billy's determined and, he's not going to let anybody take his title.
Now, Billy Joe has, when he first came into your camp, we know that he was struggling in certain areas, whether that be weight or just sort of dedicating himself to the sport. The Billy then to the Billy now, what differences have you seen? Well,
boxers are always going to, struggle with weight. It's one common denominator in boxing. There's very few fighters who don't struggle with weight. But the one thing that Billy's done different this time, from December of last year to his fight with Willie Monroe in September last year, he's been in more or less in camp from fighting Lemieux. He had 2 weeks off, and then he's been training for fights. So, whereas before he was out of the gym for 6 months. So that's the one thing that's changed. He's got this, gym fitness about him. So, as soon as a fight's announced, he can get to a place where he wants to be a lot quicker. He built on the Monroe camp. I said to him, this is just going to be a build-up to get your weight down, get your fitness, beat Monroe, follow on into your next fight, and then build from there. Obviously, we've had delays and hold-ups and everything else, but he stayed in the gym. Mm-hmm. So he's kept himself busy, he's kept himself active, he kept himself fit. And maybe that's why he's picked up 1 or 2 injuries, because he's not used to training, like that. He has time out, so he does tend to put it in when he trains. So, he got a calf injury, he got a hand injury. Training for the Murray fight. So, he's consistent. He's a different person now. He's enjoying what he's doing. He's motivated. He's living here. Mm-hmm. He's never away from the gym.
There seems to be really good relationships amongst all of you. You guys seem like a really close, tight-knit family.
Yeah, that's what, I've not been in any other gyms, but, we have got a good camaraderie. Everybody gets on. Mm-hmm. Everybody winds each other up. We do stuff together. We do bike rides. They go and play pool, snooker. Billy's good at mixing. He mixes with the kids, not just the likes of Kel and Barry. A guy called Leo Delanger. He goes and plays snooker with him because he's good. And usually Leo gives him a pasting, and that motivates Bill because there's somebody better than him at something. So it's a challenge for him. So it keeps him on his toes, and he keeps his mind active, and it keeps him busy. And he's like they say, the devil finds work for idle hands, and we just got to keep Billy's got to be walking around with 2 melons in his hand to keep himself busy, so, that's what we're going to do.
I was going to say, huh? I don't know what he's whispering.
Who's the favourite?
Who is your favorite in the house? Kid Galahad wants to know.
Favourite in my house? The favourite in their house?
In their house.
I don't have favourites. My favourite is the one who does the toll most and pays me the most money. That's my favourite.
Oh.
So at the minute, that would probably be Billy. So,
probably not what you wanted to hear, huh, kid?
See, you can't even sit down and have a private interview, and you can be like interference. You know what I mean? It's like,
you should have seen what he was doing earlier during my interview. It was ridiculous.
Listen,
It was pretty noisy on the TV, though.
We know that here's my mate Sidney. This is the one who's making a comeback. I've got you a big comeback coming back October, mate. Yes. So yeah, it's all moving in the right direction. It's we're training through the summer, and hopefully these dates, Eddie's given the 20th of October for Billy Joe Saunders. There's a date sometime for Kel. So we've got a busy fall, as Americans like to say.
Kid also.
Yeah, there's a date there for him. Just working on that at the minute. Hopefully we'll know in the next few days, probably early next week, it'll get announced what's happening with that, and hopefully he's on his way for this world title eliminator. Get this kid beat, and then get in there with Josh Warrington, and finally become world champion. It's been a long time, but sometimes you have to take the long route. Yeah.
Dom, what's probably been the craziest experience you've had with the group?
I don't know, because I tend to exclude myself from the crazy experiences. Once it starts getting out of hand, I take a bit of a back step and just let it all unfold. I'd have to sit down and think about it, because sometimes stuff happens what I don't see, and they don't tell you till months after. You don't. Otherwise, I won't be letting them do crazy stuff. But I think the craziest thing I tell a lie. I think when we're in Canada, there's the CN Tower. And, you know, Barry came back, you never guess what Billy's done. He's actually been hanging off the safety net of the CN tower. You know, it's like, if you've seen the size of that tower, it's like, you don't want to be doing that. And then a voice came over the tannoy. Excuse me, sir, will you get off the security fence? You know what I mean? So it's like, that far up and hanging on. It's one little slip, he'd have been over the edge.
Oh, God. What crazies. You guys are crazy.
Billy Joe's brought a horse round to the house before.
He's brought a horse to your house?
He did,
And he brought a gorilla one time.
Yeah.
A gorilla?
But I'm sure.
No.
I'm sure Michelle. I think what Billy's actually doing. He's using euphemisms there, but we're not going to go into that. Horses and gorillas. It's. But you know, we're going to have to stop him interfering because I don't want this interview going down that route. This is, you know, this is as Barry says, this is my time.
Yeah, Barry, go away.
Get yourself off.
Well, Dom, it's really nice speaking with you again. It's nice catching up. Yeah. I wish you guys nothing but success for the late summer into the fall. I know there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. We've got new members to the camp. We've got Liam Williams. He's decided to join us. He came up here a few times, you know, sparring Kel. And Jason quickly gave a very good account of himself. And I think he just liked the vibe and the buzz. We've also got Nicola Adams. You know, she trained here as an amateur when she won the Olympics. She had a little bit of training in America. She was out there, and you know, she came back to England and changed the training. So we've got Nicola in as well. So we got some good high-profile fighters. The camp's buzzing. Everybody's bouncing off each other, and it's taking up a lot of my time. But that's, you know, you don't get times like this very often. You do go through, you know, periods of time like the Nazi era. We had great fighters in the camp then, and it's getting to the point now where we're attracting these type of fighters. But you can only train so many effectively. And I think now I've just got to cap it off. There's all these names. I've got about, you know, eight top flight fighters.
You have a full house.
I've got a full house, more or less, so it's taken up all my time. I just hope it's all going to pay off in the end.
Yeah, well, I hope so too. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Nice to see you. We'll go ahead and put the link to where people can donate in this video. That way we can try to help raise $25,000. Imagine that. Imagine we raised $25,000.
Well,
y'all get to see all of them butt naked.
I'm just hoping that, you know, one female boxing broadcaster is not going to put an anonymous donation in, you know, to raise it up to that level. Because I'm sure if that happened and, you know, 5 people jumped out of an aircraft naked and, you know, a certain company was filming it, I'm sure that would create some massive numbers and revenue and figures. It would probably justify paying that money. So hopefully that won't happen.
Hopefully. We'll do air quotes. Yeah. Well, let's see what we can do. Let's see what the fight fans are. You know, because you know this interview is going to get a lot of views. If everybody even donated £1 each, think of it that way. Well, £1 each, then you will raise the money. That's not a lot. If everyone just did £1, click the link below because we're going to have it. Let's see what we can do. And then I might be in the airplane with them watching them jump out like idiots.
If we did generate 25, call it 30, would you jump out the plane with us naked?
No. Me naked? No.
125,000. Not 30. Come on. I think Michelle brings a lot more to the table than, you know, than you 5. Yeah.
He's got plenty of chunk in the junk.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Yeah, we're definitely can't do that. Plus, I would never jump out of a plane. You'd have to sedate me and throw me off.
What if sometimes you have a test aircraft on the ground, which is just like maybe about 6 foot, and you do like a practice jump through the door, just onto a mattress to get the feeling of the door. So maybe we could just get Michelle doing that naked, that test jump. So there's no risk involved. She's jumped from a plane, and you know, it's going to get well captured on. This guy's a good, you know, cameraman.
Do that for free because it's not much.
Free? Naked?
It's only a small jump, Michelle.
It's not the jump I'm concerned about.
Michelle, for Brendan this.
Yeah, she's not charging anybody, but she's going to get donations to do it. So that could be something we can incorporate. I could have a word with the organisers because these high-profile fighters are coming because they don't have these type of people. So it's.
And plus, if she does it, there's no way they're not going to do it.
That's right.
Because they could still chicken out.
That's right.
Yeah, we're going to wrap this conversation up because this is taking a completely different direction. I'm a little nervous where this is going to go.
We can even arrange a tandem skydive with Michelle and either you, Kel, Billy, or one of the other guys strapped to the back of her.
I would enjoy that.
That's got to be worth £25,000 of anybody's money.
Oh, hell No. All right. We're gonna wrap this up.
Tandem. I think 2's the maximum. I don't think 3.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Okay, I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye, Fight fans.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else.